Hello everybody, just wanted to go over the new project that students have about China and the fact that we are getting ready to have a big party for a fictitious, a made-up student we're pretending is going to join our team from China. So we're going to try to learn about China a little bit and compare it to the United States. So every student has this file that we'll share with them, and they have a link right here. They click on that link and it takes them to the main page, which has all the information here. And it's should be just a second. And she said, "Welcome to Wang." There it is. Wang is coming, and that's the fictitious student from China that's coming to our room. And then there are some introductions here, and basically all the students are going to be divided into 5 different groups, and they got a chance to vote on which group they wanted, and I try to give them their first or second choice, hopefully their first choice, but maybe their second choice of what they have to do. Each group has the instructions of generally what they're looking for. They have some links as well here that they can use as a starting point. That's the first group. Here's the second group, the storytellers. First group is the welcomers, then the storytellers, then the chefs, then the party people, and then our last group right here are the smarties. Now, with all 5 groups, just want to highlight one thing. I went over some instructions, some possible things they can look for, and some possible links to get them started, but really I'm just kind of pointing them in the right direction. So for example, here, I don't know, the storytellers, where they're going to read some Chinese stories and then share them with the class and then write a story that mimics the morals or themes of a story that they have in China. You know, this just kind of gives them some possibilities to go to. The chefs, for example, here are some links about what really is real traditional Chinese food or traditional Chinese cooking, and again, it's a starting point. These aren't the only items they need to research further. The goal of all the 5 different areas, whatever area your son or daughter is in, is to find out what is it really like in China, and they have to do some research for that. And again, I'm giving them some links to start off, but they have to do some additional research as well, and compare it to the U.S. So for the chef's one here, which I have it up, for example, they're going to try to talk about real Chinese food, real traditional Chinese cooking, not necessarily what they order from a Chinese restaurant here in town. The food might be delicious, but it may not be authentic, traditional Chinese food. And why is it Chinese food, for example? You know, who would eat it in China? What's the history behind it? Does it go back for thousands of years? Will the rich folks eat it? The poor folks eat it? Who would actually partake in it? How would it be prepared? Where do the ingredients come from? All these kinds of things students should consider in their discussion of this particular food item. And then again, comparing to the United States, what is a typical American food which might be served on a similar holiday? Or how is it prepared? How do we eat? What customs do we have? Those are the kinds of things they're trying to research and again present to everybody. So each student is divided into one of these groups. As far as how they're being graded, they have an evaluation page right at the top, and it goes over 5 categories, the 5 different categories that they're going to be looked at here. I think I missed it. There we go. Hopefully we're going to get it going here. That's getting ready to turn over to that. Things like what kind of research did they do? Was it in-depth? Was it sufficient? Here we go. So like research, was it relevant? Was it accurate? Was it good information? Their actual presentation, when they present their end result. Is it clear? Is it interesting? Do they use the hand gestures, the movements, the changing of pitch? All the things we talked about all year. Is it original? Is it well planned? Is it the visual aids there? And are those aids used effectively? Did they work well in their group? Now, everything they're being graded on is individual, but they are in one of these 5 groups. So they should be able to bounce ideas off the group members. They should be able to share sources. Those kinds of things we're looking for. Overall effort. Does it look like it was something they worked on for a while? Is it like straight lines, good spelling, no grammar mistakes, things like that? And then finally, yes, they need a bibliography, and the requirements of bibliography are here as well. It's the same requirements we've had probably since like November as far as what you need for bibliography. So although they're being scored individually, they're going to present on the same day with their other group members, and you should use their group as a resource there. Okay. One other little thing I just want to mention, on the original page, I did share with them a second website, and this website takes them to a place where they can contact somebody in China. a student in China, a 20-year-old, 15-year-old, 14-year-old, etc. And I show them how to do that. We talked about the fact that they might have to use an outside email, not their district Gmail, to do that. And I told everybody to talk to their parents to make sure their parents are okay with that. And then we also talked for a while about security, and that we need to make sure we don't share any personal information. Even when they're taking a vacation, when they're home from school, anything like that. The site we're using is called Students of the World, which is dedicated, an organization dedicated to connecting students in different parts of the world here. So they should be all fine, upstanding people here in China. But I have not met all these people. So I cannot 100% stand here and say, yes, this is an actual person there and they're a good person and all that. So it is something I told them to speak generally. You ask them general questions, but not to give out, their name or their phone number, or steal your credit card numbers and pass that along or anything like that. To try to get some idea as a primary source what it's like to live in China. All of this will be due around the 22nd-ish. I'll put that on the Google Calendar. Again, it depends upon how much time we have and if there's problems with technology-wise, maybe another day here or there. But as of right now, looking ahead on my calendar and my board, about 3 weeks into the future, that's where we're kind of thinking of having this all come together. If any student has any questions, they need to ask me right away. If they need additional help or they want to bounce ideas off of me, we have many, many flex periods which they can do that. And if they really would like to, they can simply say after school, just give me that 24-hour notice, as we've always been talking about. So that is the whole project. Again, your student can show you the instructions. It is meant to, again, compare and contrast living in the United States and living in China on various topics. And there should be research, not just, for food, for example, I made this, boom. It should be the background, the history, the type of people who eat it, the socioeconomic development of it, where do the ingredients come from. There should be a lot of thought and explanation so we learn about China, not just enjoy some food or hear a nice story or play a party game. It should be that we learn more about the culture of China and have the ability as a class to compare it to the U.S. So again, if there's any questions, please have your student come and see me, and I'll be glad to help them. And I hope everybody has a great April vacation, and I'll talk to you all soon.